The themes in Hey Arnold are always pretty expansive and diverse. However, one overarching theme continued throughout the show's lifespan has been Arnold's desire for a relationship with Ruth McDougal, and Helga G. Pataki's unwavering, unceasing need to be noticed by Arnold, while keeping it hidden that she actually has feelings for him. This theme between Helga and Arnold was first introduced in the Season 1 episode Downtown is Fruits, and a great example of all of this is the Season 1 finale titled Arnold's Valentine, which is what I wanted to talk about in this video. But first, let me give a quick synopsis of the special. Act 1 starts at Arnold's school PS 118 on Valentine's Day. We immediately see his attention is fixated on Ruth. We then see Helga's attention is fixated on Arnold, but in a different way. She's very conflicted on whether or not she should express her feelings to him. Arnold, however, is fully committed to letting Ruth know how he feels, and writes her a love letter asking to meet at a French restaurant called Chez Pierre, then signs it Anonymous.
You got some guts, Arnold.
Signed Anonymous.
Guess I spoke too soon.
The teacher passes out gifts and letters sent to the students from their overseas pen pals, but Helga's pen pal only sends a postcard asking for money. Arnold's pen pal, Cecile from France, sends him a letter that the teacher will hold until after recess. At recess, Arnold slips Ruth his love letter, and Helga hatches a scheme to impersonate Cecile while on a date with Arnold. She does this by opening Cecile's letter to Arnold and forging a note saying that she will be flying overseas tonight. You'd think that would set off a little skepticism in Arnold, but it doesn't. It just doesn't. So the letter says that she has something important to tell him, and they should meet at a fancy French restaurant called Chez Paris. Out of sheer luck, the two restaurants, Chez Pierre and Chez Paris, happen to be right across the street from each other. Arnold realizes the dilemma of having two dates at the same time, but doesn't want to bail on either. He plans to date both girls at the same time by running back and forth between restaurants. Meanwhile, across town, Helga is working on her wardrobe and hair so that she looks the part of a French girl named Cecile. This involves accidentally going to a dog groomer's and getting the latest hairstyle in French poodle couture, as well as learning French on a CD for like an hour. At one point, while talking to Gerald, Arnold realizes that he knows nothing about Ruth, and he's mostly just been focused on her beauty. Regardless, he still wants to express his feelings for her. And at the very end of this act, we see Cecile's plane coming in for a landing. Act 2 finds Arnold at a dinner table inside Chez Paris, with who he thinks is Cecile. Instead, it's really Helga in a French getup. They order food and start a short conversation before Arnold notices Ruth outside. He interrupts the conversation to go meet with her and escort her to a table across the street at Chez Pierre. He then offers to get her a drink as a cover to run back to his date with Cecile. Back at Chez Paris, Helga asks Arnold if he's interested in any girls at his school in an attempt to find out if he also has feelings for her. Arnold is brutally honest and says he finds this one girl at school, Helga, very annoying. Their food comes and Helga takes a couple bites of the food she ordered before the waiter remarks on how mature her palate is for enjoying the calf brains and eggs. She never knew what she ordered because it was all in French, and now she's appalled and runs to the bathroom to hurl. Arnold takes this opportunity to go back to Chez Pierre, where he finds out that Ruth thought he was the busboy this entire time. He tries to save the date by bringing up the love letter and attempts to say who it's from. But Ruth is too dense to understand that Anonymous isn't a real person, and she believes she's only killing time talking to Arnold until Anonymous arrives. Arnold tries to start an interesting conversation, but eventually realizes that Ruth is pretty surface and they don't have much in common. Helga comes back to the table at Chez Paris, where she sees Arnold is gone. She looks defeated and hurt, and is about to leave, but then Arnold rushes in with flowers. He expresses to her that he previously liked the girl, but recently found out that they weren't a match, and he was only looking skin deep. Helga then confesses feelings for Arnold, but technically, he still thinks she's Cecile. She asks if he likes her too, but right as he's about to answer, he runs to Chez Pierre to speak with Ruth. Outside of the restaurant, he finds Ruth has gotten close with a busboy who's equally as dense as her. She then leaves with him, but not before Helga notices Arnold and Ruth talking. Helga runs out of Chez Paris and confronts him for hiding what's going on. But her hypocrisy is instantly checked when the real Cecile shows up to meet Arnold after she found out from his grandpa where he was. Gerald intercepts pretending to be Arnold and leaves with Cecile. Helga and Arnold are left alone to deal with the lies they've both told. Only, when confronted and given the opportunity to reveal her identity, Helga folds and hides who she really is. They go their separate ways and on what seems like good terms. And it seems like Arnold may have genuinely enjoyed his time with her as he kisses her hand and takes her red heel as a memento, then holds it fondly before the credits roll. So let's talk about it. The issues in this episode stem from a couple things. Helga's inability to express herself openly while still willing to do whatever it takes to feel Arnold's presence, and Arnold's indecisiveness accompanied by his unjustified emotional reverence for Ruth. He'd never spoken to Ruth before, but felt that his connection with her was or would be stronger than his pen pals who he'd been writing to. Although it's possible that Arnold and Ruth could have hit it off and enjoyed each other, it would have been best for him to be more direct with Ruth and tell her that the scheduling would need to be changed once he found out his pen pal flew all the way from France to see him. I only say it's up to him to talk to Ruth because there's no way to contact Cecile. We're talking like the 90s coming up. This honestly also applies to Helga. She was by far the most deceitful and selfish person in this episode. She committed forgery, identity fraud, and multiple fashion violations, all just for a date. I can only believe that she felt like this was her only option, because being direct most likely wouldn't get her immediate results. She spent the majority of her life bullying and picking on Arnold whenever she's seen him. For her to go up to him and say, oh, I don't know, something like, my passion for you burns with the white hot intensity of 1,000 suns, without expecting rejection would be unrealistic. Still, this doesn't excuse how she went about everything. She's probably caused more heartache and pain for herself than she ever would have if she'd just sent him an honest letter. Getting told to your face by your love interest that you're annoying in such a candid way that Arnold did it has to hurt something fierce. In the end, I think the people who deserved a good night got that, and the people who deserved chaos, they got chaos. But let's be real here. You invite the most popular girl in your school to dinner the night of Valentine's Day as an anonymous person. You thinking she'll show up is insane in itself. And flying overseas to surprise your pen pal on the night of Valentine's Day is just as crazy. You put all your faith that the mail carrier didn't take it easy that day and decided to deliver your letter tomorrow. But I guess that type of planning is probably on par for a bunch of 4th graders, right? Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll be uploading more videos like this covering all types of cartoons, so be sure to drop a like and subscribe to stay in the loop. See ya!
You got some guts, Arnold.
Signed Anonymous.
Guess I spoke too soon.